Okay, business idioms. This time we're based around sport. So, drop the ball. This would be like in sport, like in rugby, for example, or in American football. If you drop the ball is a funny shape. It could go anywhere. So that's a really bad thing. Dropping the ball is a mistake. You don't want to drop the ball. He dropped the ball. It's his fault. What's going to happen now? Not a good thing. All right. Ballpark figure. Now, this means like in the ballpark, such as maybe baseball. All right. You could knock it out the park. That is the sort of visualization of hitting it out the park. He whacked it out the park. So what is a ballpark figure? It's like an estimate or an educated guess. Often in England we would say a guesstimate, mixing the two words together, an estimate and a guess. So a ballpark figure or an estimate or a guess is a rough idea when somebody, especially when somebody doesn't want to tell you the numbers. I don't want to tell them the exact price, but a ballpark figure is quite a common thing to hear. Okay, the ball is in your court. Now, I don't know whether this comes from squash or from tennis, but generally now, I've done the best I can do. I've done what I need to do. Now it's up to you. Now it's for you to make the move. What are you going to do? The ball is in your court, my friend. Okay, game plan. All right, what's the game plan here, guys? Huddle up, huddle up. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What is the strategy? What is the strategy? What are we thinking about the next few moves? Okay, level the playing field. Now, this is sometimes either because you have got something amazing, which brings you up and makes you feel level on the playing field, or the fact that it's an unfair playing field. We need to level the playing field. We need to make it more fair. We need to make us better. Level the playing field. All right? It's about fair. What's fair, what's not fair. You know, you could be in an industry where you're a very small competitor, and so you don't feel like it's a level playing field until you get a huge investment, and then you're on a level playing field. Because if the playing field's not level, the ball would roll away, maybe to your competitor's advantage, or vice versa. Okay, touch base. You hear this a lot. It's overused. It's more what an American would say, let's touch base after the weekend. Basically means catch up, let's connect, and let's communicate again at a later time. Okay, a slam dunk. Again, another Americanism. And this, I think, comes from basketball, where obviously you slam dunk it through the hoop. A slam dunk, meaning something's guaranteed, something's really straightforward and simple, and it's kind of done. You know, it's guaranteed it's done, even if you haven't actually finished it. Okay, move the goalposts. Now, this could be about where, say, somebody else has authority, like a government, for example, and they now move the goalposts, and it's not easy for you to continue doing what you did before. You know, they've moved the goalposts. They've changed things. Maybe if you're a freelancer and the client is asked now for extra this, and this, you know, for your payment. They've moved the goalposts. They've moved the expectation of what is usually accepted. Okay. Calling the shots. Call the shots. So that's the person that's in charge. That's the person that has the authority. You know, he calls the shots. It's up to him. Or I call the shots, and this is what I'm saying. Whoever calls the shots. Now, I don't know whether that's down to shooting or whether it's to do with some other taking a shot with basketball again. I don't know. Maybe you could tell me in the comments. Help me out. All right. In the home stretch. Again, I think this is baseball, where they've got like, they do a home run, and then the home stretch is like the last little bit, the last base. All right, so a lot of these come from baseball or American sports. The home stretch, the last little bit. We've only got a little bit more to go. Maybe you're running a marathon. Maybe you're doing a campaign. Maybe you're finishing the end of a big project. You're in the home stretch. Okay, and a bonus one for you guys. Here we go. Take one for the team. So this is about a sacrifice. Maybe somebody has to work the weekend. Maybe somebody has to go out for dinner with an awful client. All right, you take one for the team. You're helping the team out. But it's usually something negative that nobody wants to do. All right, so there's your 10 and a bonus one. Okay, lastly, I just want to say, I didn't really mention on this last time, but idioms are pretty essential to learn. Yes, I know there's thousands of them. You'll never learn them all. I don't know them all. But having a grasp and an idea, especially in the business context, is essential because helps with better communication. Often it's more polite and quicker to share an idiom because it's probably visual and because it's easier to understand than going the long way round of politely asking for some support or some help in a particular area. So it's a bit easier and politer and quicker. So it's better for communication in general. Well, that's why they're there. That's why they're invented. They're not done for no reason at all. And the second reason, it helps you fit in, build trust, and you're all speaking the same corporate language. When we all feel like we're on the same team, it feels like we're, moving towards the same goal and aiming towards the same targets. All these phrases really help punctuate a sense of shared language. And you might say, well, what's the importance in that? But there's a lot of science behind the fact that, one, if you speak the same language as somebody else, you're going to feel more trust and more connection. But as these are often international video calls, international video deals, or in person, international communication, this is a shared language that we can all be part of, this corporate language. And some of those studies explain that speaking the same language builds the trust, but also many people are aware that not everyone can express themselves in the same way that somebody else understands. Let me give you an example. Bear with me. So if, for example, you're talking to a man and he's a car guy, he likes motor cars, all right? And so you start thinking about what words you know regarding cars. And it seems like a bit extra effort, and it is a little bit extra effort. But it does help build a bond between you and the other guy. You would say something like, wow, this project really gets my engine running. This project now that we're doing together, really revs me up. It really gets me excited. I can feel the vibrations already. Feels like we're just tearing it down the track now. Wow, we guys we're really revving it up now. We're really going for it. Cool. I can feel that we're going to be hitting the finish line anytime soon. This is really maybe we're going 100 miles an hour now. So you're using terminology or words that are very familiar to the other person. Maybe the other person is a musical person. Maybe they love a particular style of music. And you've built this up through conversation. That they love piano music, for example. And so you would start using words that you know from your knowledge or history of music. So you might say something like, oh wow, yeah, this project is really resonating with me. I really feel like we're in tune together. We're on the same song sheet together. Feels like things are going really good. I feel like that this is just like a loudspeaker of who I am. I really hear you. Yeah, this is a good rhythm we're getting into now. So you would try to mimic or emulate words from their favorite genre, their favorite interest. Maybe they have children. Maybe they have children. And so you talk about your project with words or terminology that they would know as a parent. You know, you could say, oh, I don't know about you, but my team seems to be having a tantrum at the moment. My team, oh, they seem to be not just having a tantrum, but they also seem to be having a lot of squabbles and quarrels. I feel like a parent sometimes. And, you know, I find that I need to keep motivating them with treats. You know, and I have to keep putting in the boundaries. You know, sometimes we have to acknowledge our rewards and sometimes the consequences. You know, sometimes I feel like that's the way it is. But this project really does feel like a win-win for the parent company and for our sister company. This project really is helping me feel like I'm really grown, you know, and things are looking really good and bright for the future. I feel like we're going to be really big together in the future. You know, I like to follow in your footsteps. You know, I look up to you. I feel like you're a father figure. You know, this project is really helping us connect, I believe. All right, so that was just off the top of my head, not ad-libbing. So apologies for the umming and ahhing as my brain was trying to speed up to the level we're going at now. So trying to speak with words that the other person knows and feels familiar with helps build a bridge, much like talking this corporate language using idioms. So if you got any suggestions, if you got any ideas about how using corporate language or the language of the person you're working towards, and you have some interesting stories, let me know below in the comments. All right, that's it for this time. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.